The day Superman descended into the Capital Wasteland, we thought humanity had finally found its savior. And if you genuinely enjoy this kind of dark storytelling, consider subscribing and liking the channel, but only if it truly resonates with you. But when he stood in ground zero of a nuclear blast and smiled while absorbing the radiation, we realized the truth. This wasn't Earth's salvation story. It was the chronicle of how a Kryptonian god transformed our nuclear wasteland into his personal throne of atomic horror, where even death became a luxury we could no longer afford. I was there when the second sun fell on the Mojave. My name is Scribe Valdez, Brotherhood of Steel, Mojave chapter. I'm recording this on what's left of our holotapes because someone needs to know what really happened, before the propaganda, before the myths, before the children of Atom rewrote everything. The Courier had just secured Hoover Dam for the NCR 3 months prior. We thought the worst was over. The Legion was scattered, House was dead. The Brotherhood had negotiated a truce. For the first time in decades, the Mojave knew something close to peace. Then the sky cracked open above Quarry Junction. The Deathclaws saw him first. Those apex predators that made hardened soldiers wet themselves. They charged at the figure descending from the clouds. He didn't even look at them, just kept floating down while their claws shattered against his skin. One alpha tried to bite his throat. Its teeth crumbled like chalk. He grabbed that alpha by its skull, squeezed until bone became powder. The other Deathclaws backed away. I'd never seen them show fear before. Rangers stationed at the quarry radioed it in. A man had fallen from the sky, unharmed by creatures that could tear power armor apart, wearing some kind of strange blue and red uniform with a symbol on the chest. Not Brotherhood, not Enclave. Not any faction we knew. Colonel Moore mobilized immediately. 3 squads of veteran rangers, 2 vertibirds. They found him standing in the center of the quarry, surrounded by Deathclaw corpses. He hadn't used weapons, just his hands. The rangers tried to communicate, asked him to identify himself. He looked at them like they were insects. When Ranger Chen stepped forward with her rifle lowered, trying to establish peaceful contact, he spoke for the first time. "Your world is already dead. You just haven't accepted it yet." His eyes lit up red, twin beams of heat hotter than any laser weapon we'd ever developed. Chen didn't even have time to scream, just gone. Ash in the wind. The other Rangers opened fire, 50 caliber rounds, plasma bolts, even a mini nuke from someone who'd kept one hidden. He walked through it all. The radiation from the nuke made him smile, actually smile, like someone had given him a gift. "Delicious," he said. He moved faster than our sensors could track. One moment standing still. Next moment, 3 Rangers were dead. Necks snapped with surgical precision. He lifted Ranger Patterson overhead. A man in full combat armor, lifted like he weighed nothing. "Tell your leaders Superman is here. Your world belongs to me now." He threw Patterson. Not dropped, threw. The man flew 200 yards and crashed through a billboard. Somehow survived. Broken but breathing. The only survivor of first contact. Word spread through the Mojave like wildfire. The NCR tried to keep it classified, but you can't hide something like this. A man who ate mini nukes for breakfast, who moved faster than bullets, who called himself Superman. Elder Maxson called an emergency meeting. I was there to transcribe. The discussion lasted 3 minutes before the ceiling exploded. He floated down through the hole, chunks of reinforced concrete bouncing off him like rain. Our laser turrets activated. He let them fire. Stood there absorbing enough energy to power New Vegas for a month. "The Brotherhood of Steel," he said. His voice was calm, casual, like he was ordering breakfast. "I've been listening to your radio chatter. You hoard technology. Worship it, really. Let me show you technology." His eyes swept the room. Not the red beams, just looking. But when he looked at you, you felt it in your bones, like being x-rayed and found wanting. Your power armor is quaint. Your energy weapons are toys. Your vertibirds barely qualify as aircraft. But your nuclear stockpiles, those interest me, McNamara stood. Give him credit, he didn't shake. "The Brotherhood protects technology from those who would abuse it." Superman laughed. Not a human laugh. "Something else. Abuse it? I am living proof of technology perfected. On my world, Krypton, we had science that would seem like magic to you. Here, on this irradiated rock you call home, I am God." Paladin Hardin made the mistake of firing his Gatling laser. Superman didn't dodge. He walked into the beam, threw it, grabbed the weapon and crushed it like aluminum foil. Then he grabbed Hardin. Have you ever wondered which of the Wasteland's corruptions would claim them first? Drop your theories in the comments. I need to know I'm not alone in thinking about this. But Hardin didn't get corrupted. He got compressed. Superman pressed his hands together with Harden between them. Power armor crumpled inward. We heard bones break, heard Harden try to scream through collapsed lungs. When Superman let go, what dropped wasn't human-shaped anymore. The radiation sensors went crazy. Superman was absorbing ambient radiation from the air, from the walls, from us, growing stronger by the second. I've been listening to your little wars, he continued. NCR versus Legion, Brotherhood versus everyone. It's adorable, like watching ants fight over crumbs while standing in a giant's shadow. He grabbed our nuclear stockpile manifest from McNamara's desk, speed-read it in under a second. Hidden bunker, Nellis Air Force Base. Interesting. You've been sitting on enough nuclear material to restart the Great War. McNamara finally spoke again. Those weapons are sealed, protected. They can never be used again. Can't they? Superman's eyes glowed, not red this time, a sickly green. He was seeing through walls, through the Earth itself, tracking our hidden arsenals by their radiation signatures. I can feel them, he whispered. Every warhead, every reactor, every irradiated weapon in the Mojave, calling to me, feeding me. He floated up through the hole he'd made, but before leaving he turned back. 48 hours. Tell the NCR. Tell Caesar's Legion if they still exist. Tell every petty warlord and would-be king. They have 48 hours to surrender to me. After that, I start breaking things. He left 17 Brotherhood members dead, just from that brief visit. The survivors, including me, were suffering severe radiation poisoning. Not from him directly, but from his presence. He was a walking nuclear reactor. No worse. He was absorbing radiation and converting it to power. The NCR response was predictable. General Oliver mobilized everything. Every ranger, every trooper, every piece of pre-war tech they could salvage. They set up a defensive line at Camp McCarran, missile launchers, artillery. They even wheeled out Liberty Prime's little brother, a half-functional robot they'd been restoring. Superman appeared at exactly noon the next day. He came alone, on foot. Walking down the long 15 like he was out for a stroll, the NCR fired everything. Thousands of rounds, hundreds of explosives. The robot's laser carved a canyon in the ground trying to track him. He walked through it all. When he reached the front line, he didn't even fight. Just kept walking. Soldiers bounced off him. Bullets, energy weapons, nothing worked. He walked to the command center. General Oliver was waiting with a Fat Man launcher. Point-blank nuclear explosion. The mushroom cloud rose 200 feet. When the smoke cleared, Superman was glowing. Actually glowing with absorbed radiation. His eyes were brighter, his smile wider. Thank you, he said. Then he grabbed Oliver and flew straight up. 3,000 feet, 4,000, 5,000. We could see them against the sun. A tiny speck and a god. He let go. Oliver fell for 13 seconds. The entire NCR army watched their general plummet. Superman floated down beside the corpse. Your democracy is over. Your republic is dead. I am your new government. Your new god. Kneel or die. Some knelt immediately. Others ran. Most stood frozen, paralyzed, unable to process what they were seeing. A being that ate nuclear fire and asked for seconds. Half of Camp McCarran knelt. The other half died. Superman didn't use his heat vision this time. He wanted them to suffer. One by one, he grabbed the defiant soldiers. Some he threw into the stratosphere. Others he crushed slowly, letting everyone hear bones crack like dry branches. Sergeant Kilborn tried to run. Superman appeared in front of him before he took 3 steps. Running is disrespectful, Superman said. He put one finger on Kilborn's forehead. Just one finger. Pushed until skull gave way. The kneeling soldiers stayed down for 3 hours, afraid to move, afraid to breathe too loud. Superman floated above them, absorbing radiation from the desert sun, growing stronger. That's when the children of Atom arrived. They came from the north, 200 strong, wearing their radiation suits like holy vestments, carrying gamma guns and nuclear scripture. They'd heard about the new god who consumed atomic fire. Mother Isolde led them. You could hear the cancer in her voice, see it in how she moved. She was more tumor than woman by then, but she walked straight up to Superman like approaching a shrine. You are the one the atoms foretold, she said. The divine glow made flesh, the one who does not burn, but becomes the fire. Superman studied her. This walking corpse preaching about radiation's glory. You worship radiation, he said. Not a question, we worship division. The moment of atomic split that creates infinite possibility. And you are division incarnate, immune to the blessing that kills us slowly. She dropped to her knees. The other children followed, but not in fear like the NCR soldiers, in reverence, in joy. Show us your glory, Isolde begged. Let us witness true atomic power, Superman's eyes flared. Twin beams carved the ground around them. Sand became glass. Glass became plasma. The children didn't flee. They pressed closer, reaching toward the heat like flowers toward sun. Yes, Isolde wept. You are the culmination, what we all aspire to become. Superman laughed. That inhuman sound again. You want to become like me? You can't. Your bodies are too weak. Your genetics too damaged. You're already dead, just too stupid to lie down. Then use us, Isolde pleaded. Let our deaths fuel your glory. Every atom in our bodies sings for you. That gave him an idea. You could see it in his eyes. The moment inspiration struck, he flew to Cottonwood Cove. What was left of Caesar's legion had regrouped there under Legate Lanius. The monster of the East was preparing one last assault to reclaim the dam. 8,000 legionaries, the largest force Caesar had ever assembled. Superman landed in the center of their camp. Lanius himself stepped forward. 7 feet tall, more armor than man. The blade on his back had split 100 NCR soldiers in half. You stand in the presence of Caesar's legion, Lanius growled through his mask. Kneel or be crucified. Superman didn't answer with words. He grabbed Lanius by the mask, lifted all 400 pounds of him with one hand. The legate's blade shattered against Superman's skin. His armor crumpled like paper. If you had their power in the wasteland, would you choose NCR, Brotherhood, or stay neutral? Tell me in the comments. I'll be reading them. But Superman wasn't choosing any faction. He was collecting them. He flew Lanius to the fort. Caesar's tumor-riddled body was propped on his throne, watching his empire's end through bloodshot eyes. Superman dropped Lanius at his feet. The legate's legs were broken. His mask cracked down the middle. Your legion dies today, Superman announced. But I'll give you a choice, a warrior's death in battle. Or you can kneel and serve, Caesar laughed. Blood came with it. We are legion. We do not kneel to false gods. False? Superman's eyes burned. The tent vaporized. Caesar's throne melted to slag. But he kept Caesar alive. Somehow, holding him in those beams just at the edge of death, cooking him slowly. Your empire was built on the idea that might makes right, Superman said. That the strong should rule the weak. By your own philosophy, you should worship me. He let Caesar drop, a blackened, barely breathing thing. The Legion attacked, 8,000 warriors charging one man. Machetes, spears, firearms, power fists taken from dead Brotherhood. Superman stood in the center of the storm, not dodging, not blocking, just existing while death broke against him like waves on stone. When they exhausted their ammunition, he acted. The slaughter took 6 minutes. He didn't use heat vision, didn't need to. Just his hands, his speed. Legionaries exploded from impacts too fast to see. Bodies flew in every direction. Some landed in Lake Mead, others cratered against canyon walls. Volpes Inculta tried to poison him. Superman drank the mixture like wine. Lucius of the Praetorian Guard attacked with a thermal lance. Superman bent it into a pretzel and fed it to him. Literally fed it, forced the molten metal down his throat. By minute 4, the survivors were running. By minute 5, he was catching them. By minute 6, Caesar's legion ceased to exist, except for one. Lanius still lived, broken but breathing. Superman dragged him back to Caesar's corpse. You were the strongest, Superman said. Strong enough to survive. That means you get to spread the word. Tell everyone from here to the Commonwealth. Earth has a new ruler. Resistance equals extinction. He left Lanius there among 8,000 corpses. Then flew to Black Mountain. The Super Mutants there were already in disarray. Marcus had tried to build a peaceful settlement, but the Nightkin had other ideas. When Superman arrived, they thought he was another human to eat. They learned quickly, Super Mutant skin is tough. Bullets bounce off, but Superman went through them like tissue paper. Literally through, punching holes in torsos. The Nightkin tried their stealth. He could see them, hear their heartbeats, smell their FEV-mutated blood. You're all mistakes, he told them. Failed experiments trying to improve humanity. Let me show you what real evolution looks like. He grabbed a super mutant behemoth, 20 feet tall, 4 tons of muscle and rage. Superman lifted it overhead and pulled, tore it in half like bread. Green blood rained on Black Mountain. But then something interesting happened. The radiation from the super mutant's body, concentrated FEV radiation. It made Superman pause. His eyes widened. He could feel it. Different from nuclear radiation. More biological, more directed. He found the FEV vats hidden in the mountain. Abandoned experiments from the Masters era. Barrels of the green liquid that transformed humans into monsters. Superman submerged his hand. The FEV tried to mutate him, tried to rewrite his Kryptonian DNA. It failed, but the attempt, the energy expended in trying, that he could absorb. Fascinating, he said. Your virus wants to make me like you, but I'm already perfect. Still, the effort feeds me. He drank it, barrel after barrel. The super mutants watched their creator's legacy consumed like soup. With each dose, Superman's glow intensified. Not just radiation now, something else, something worse. Marcus tried to reason with him. The old mutant had seen the Master's rise and fall, had fought alongside the Chosen One. He understood power and its corruption. You're making the same mistake the Master did, Marcus said. Thinking power alone makes you right. Superman grabbed Marcus by the throat. The Master was weak. He needed an army, needed followers. I need nothing but myself. Then why leave survivors to spread your message? Superman paused. For 1 second, something flickered in his eyes. Not doubt, never doubt, but calculation. Because fear is a tool, he said finally. And broken tools still have uses. He dropped Marcus and flew east, toward the divide, the Courier's nightmare, where nuclear warheads had cracked the Earth itself, where the dust storms could flay skin from bone, where radiation was so thick you could taste it. Superman flew into the heart of the storm, disappeared into those howling clouds of death. The radiation levels there would kill a human in seconds, would ghoulify them in minutes if they were lucky. We tracked him on our sensors, the radiation signature growing, multiplying. He stayed there for 6 hours. When he emerged, he wasn't alone. He'd found Ulysses. Ulysses hung from Superman's grip like a broken flag, the man who'd walked the divide, who'd survived where nations died. Now just meat in a god's hand, but Ulysses was smiling through the blood. I knew you would come, Ulysses whispered. The divide called to you, as it called to me, the place where America truly died, where the old world's sins became manifest. Superman dropped him at the edge of the radiation storm. You launched those missiles, trying to destroy both the NCR and Legion. You understand power. I understand endings, Ulysses corrected. And beginnings. You are neither. You are continuation. The same power that destroyed the world, wearing a different face. Superman's eyes flared, but Ulysses kept talking. The symbols on your chest, that S. Another flag to replace the old ones. But flags are just cloth. Power is just physics. You haven't transcended anything. You've just become the biggest bomb. The ground where Superman stood began to glass from heat. I am evolution, Superman said. I am what humanity could never achieve. You are what humanity already achieved. In 2077, when they burned the world. You're just more efficient. Superman grabbed Ulysses by the throat again, but didn't squeeze. Something in the man's words had caught him. Like a splinter. Show him the temple, Ulysses gasped. Superman's enhanced vision pierced the radiation storm. Found it, a massive structure in the heart of the divide. Not pre-war, newer. Built from the twisted metal of the apocalypse itself. The children of Atom had been busy. They'd gathered every nuclear warhead in the divide, every unexploded bomb, every leaked reactor core, built them into a cathedral of atomic death. At its heart, a throne made from plutonium rods. Still critical. Still burning, Mother Isolde stood before it. Her body was failing. Radiation had consumed most of her organs. She had hours at most, but she smiled as Superman approached. We built it for you, she said. A throne worthy of the Atom's chosen. Sit, rule. Let the radiation make you infinite. Superman studied the structure. Enough nuclear material to crack a continent, arranged in deliberate patterns. Not just random accumulation. Designed, calculated, a massive amplifier. You want me to become your god, he said. You already are. This will just make it official. He sat. The reaction was immediate. Every warhead began to sing, not detonating, resonating, feeding him their potential energy without exploding. The children of Atom fell to their knees, weeping with joy as their flesh began to slough off from proximity. Superman's body became a second sun. The radiation levels exceeded anything ever recorded. The very air ionized. Lightning cracked between him and the throne. But something else was happening too. The FEV he'd consumed was reacting to the massive radiation influx, not mutating him. He was immune to that, but it was trying. The virus was spending itself against his Kryptonian cells. Each failed attempt to rewrite his DNA released more energy. Energy he absorbed. He was becoming a living nuclear reactor crossed with a biological weapon, the perfect fusion of everything wrong with the wasteland. The Institute chose that moment to appear. Coursers, 20 of them, teleported directly into the temple. They'd been watching, calculating, waiting for the moment he was distracted by the power influx. Subject designation: Superman. The lead courser stated, "The Institute requires your genetic material for replication." Superman laughed. The sound shattered every piece of glass in 5 miles. "You want to make synths of me? Synthetic replication of your abilities would ensure the Institute's supremacy. Compliance is not required. We will take samples either way," they fired. Not bullets, not lasers, specialized weapons designed to extract DNA at the molecular level, needles that could pierce power armor. They shattered against his skin. Superman stood from his throne. The children of Atom were all dead now, cooked by proximity to their god. Only Mother Isolde still moved, crawling toward him, skin falling off in sheets. "Perfect," she whispered with her last breath. "You are perfect." Superman turned to the coursers. "You want my DNA? Let me give it to you." He moved, faster than teleportation. His hand went through the lead courser's chest, but didn't stop there. The radiation he was emitting began breaking down the synth at the atomic level. It didn't just die, it dissolved. Component atoms scattered. The other coursers tried to teleport away. Superman was faster. He grabbed 2 mid-transport. The teleportation field reacted with his radiation aura. They materialized as screaming tumors, half teleported, half dissolved, trapped between states. "Tell your father," Superman said to the last courser. "Tell him his institute ends tomorrow. His Commonwealth, his synths, all of it." "I'm coming." The courser teleported away. Superman let him go. Fear needed messengers. He returned to his throne. But now he wasn't alone. The Brotherhood remnants had arrived. The NCR survivors, even what was left of the Enclave, crawling out from hidden bunkers. They didn't come to fight. They came to kneel. Humanity's last factions, bowing before the thing they couldn't kill. "You all fought each other for centuries," Superman addressed them. "Over technology, over ideology, over resources. But you all missed the point. Power isn't something you find or build or steal. Power is something you are." Elder Maxson stepped forward. I was surprised he still lived. "What do you want from us?" "Want? I don't want anything. I'm going to rebuild this world, my way. No more factions, no more wars. Just order, my order. And if we refuse," Superman's eyes glowed. The mountain behind McNamara vaporized, just gone. A perfect hole carved through stone and earth. There is no refusal. There is compliance, or there is nothing. General Oliver's replacement, Colonel Shu, found his voice. "You're just another tyrant. The Wasteland has seen dozens. The Wasteland has seen men playing at power, using tools, weapons, armies. I don't need tools. I am the weapon." He stood from his throne and floated above them. "Here are my commandments. First, all nuclear weapons will be brought to me. I will consume them. Remove the temptation for another great war. Second, all FEV research will be mine. The virus that made your super mutants will fuel my evolution. Third, you will build cities, technology, art, whatever I command. Fourth, you will breed. I need a population to rule. Your petty wars have thinned the herd too much," someone in the crowd shouted. "You can't make us slaves." Superman descended, found the shouter, a young NCR recruit, maybe 18, still had hope in his eyes. "Slavery implies you have value beyond what I assign you. You're not slaves, you're resources. And resources that don't produce get recycled." He touched the boy's forehead. The recruit didn't die. Worse, he began to change. Controlled ghoulification. Superman was channeling radiation precisely, turning the boy into a ghoul in seconds instead of years, but keeping him conscious, letting him feel every cell dying and reforming. When it was done, the recruit was still alive, still aware, but rotting, forever. That's what defiance earns, not death. Death is escape. "I'll make you all ghouls, immortal, rotting, serving forever." The kneeling crowd pressed lower. I saw hardened Brotherhood paladins weep, NCR rangers throw away their weapons. The Enclave remnants, those who thought themselves America's inheritors, groveling in irradiated dirt. Lanius arrived then, the legate of a dead legion, walking on shattered legs through will alone, dragging Caesar's head as proof of his nation's end. "I bring news from the east," Lanius said. "The Brotherhood's Commonwealth chapter sends word. They're mobilizing Liberty Prime, the real one. Fully functional," Superman smiled. "Good, I was getting bored." He flew east. We tracked him on every sensor we had. 3 days later, Liberty Prime was scrap. The Pridwin was a crater. The Commonwealth was his. Within a month, he'd reached the Capital Wasteland, the pit, the ruins of New York. Everywhere humanity had crawled back from nuclear fire, Superman arrived to remind them they existed at his pleasure. But here's the thing about gods. They need worship to stay interesting, and Superman got bored, so he made us fight. Organized gladiator matches, made settlements battle for resources. Not for survival, for his amusement. He'd give powers to some. Radiation resistance, minor mutations, watch them fight normal humans. Take bets on who'd last longest. He built his capital in the Divide, where America had died. Said it was poetic. The throne of atomic death became his seat of power. He forced the Institute's scientists to build him technology, made the Brotherhood maintain it, used the NCR's bureaucracy to run his empire. But the radiation was changing him, not physically. He was still immune, but mentally, the constant influx of atomic power was doing something to his mind. He started forgetting things, names, faces. Sometimes he'd call Earth Krypton. Sometimes he'd forget why he was here. The FEV made it worse. He kept consuming it. Barrels from every vault, every hidden lab. It couldn't change his body, but it was changing his thoughts, making them stranger, more alien. I saw him last week. He doesn't look human anymore, still shaped like one. But his presence is wrong. Reality bends around him. Radiation doesn't just emit from him now. It warps space, time. You look at him and see tomorrow's cancer. Yesterday's atomic fire. He's become exactly what the children of Atom prophesied. Division incarnate. The splitting atom given consciousness. And he's forgotten he was ever anything else. Sometimes he talks to people who aren't there. Has conversations with ghosts of Krypton. Sometimes he builds things. Impossible things. Cities of crystalline radiation that kill anyone who enters. Sometimes he just floats above his throne, absorbing the sun's radiation, growing stronger and stranger. The wasteland learned to live with him. Like living with radiation itself. You avoid it when you can, endure it when you can't, and slowly, inevitably, it kills everything it touches. They say the Courier is still out there, searching for a way to kill a god, the lone wanderer too, the sole survivor. All the heroes of the wasteland united against one threat. But how do you kill something that feeds on death itself? I'm dying now, the radiation from that first encounter finally catching up. My skin is starting to slough, my hair is gone. I'll be a ghoul soon if I'm lucky, dead if I'm not. But I needed to record this, so someone remembers what happened when the second sun fell on the Mojave, when Superman came to the wasteland and became everything we deserved.